Alright. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to more Phoenix Wright.
Hello. I'm immediately starting this off with a cat.
Yeah, kitty cat. Meanwhile, I stopped by Circle K to get a drink, and I also bought a 5-pack of cookies, so I have that sitting in front of me now as well.
Nice.
Who needs real food when you have cookies? I'll make myself dinner later. Yee. Alright. Back in the trial.
Indeed. Very...
Ooh, I caught none of that.
Might be leaning too far away. I might be.
Okay. Oh. Let's go on from it. Out of curiosity, are you on the right microphone? Because I know that you have two.
It's plugged in, so it should be the right microphone.
Tap it. Yep, okay, yeah, right microphone. Okay. Okay. The court will now reconvene. Reconvene? Yeah. My brain is scrambled today as well, so this will be fun. The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. That was also not the judge. That was fucking prosecutor on karma. Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Okay. It's been so long since I do voices. Me, partner? Oh, I'm just a man, same as you. Wandering the trails of civilization. Nah, I can do better than that. Occasionally helping the elderly cross intersections when needed. Yes, we get it. Oh, I know! You're a patrolman! As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind calling it out. Ah, get it. Ah, voices are blending and I'm not a fan of it. To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor.
Howling wind. Never heard anything described that way.
Okay. I'm going to turn you up over here now and see what that does for me. Are you inhaling your microphone?
I was moving it.
Okay. That sounds better. Yee. Okay. Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day the crime took place. Is this correct? According to the papers, partner. What do you mean? A desperado's soul is as boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up. Maybe it's best we get on with this quickly. Please share with us your testimony of the day of the crime. In plain old English.
Oh, honey, you ain't getting plain old English.
No. My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard. They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was at a street-side saloon at the time it went down. And I'm just an innocent traveling man. So if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail. I can't say I particularly care for your attitude. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining.
Wait a minute. What do you mean by... Phoenix, I'm going to assume you're asking for the sake of court.
Yeah. I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
here's what he was getting at. Yeah.
what about the fingerprint-activated locks on the evidence?
Yeah. It's
Oh,
not that's
okay.
2, it's that's 3, and he misspoke.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Fingerprint activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those?
No.
He's not good. He's not that good with machines, or with following orders. Everyone's got their weaknesses now, don't they, Mr. Prosecutor? This one seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours. Right, I'm also playing on mouse. What am I doing? Give me my controller back. There we go. Oh. Hold up. I didn't know I could switch them that way. Noted. I chose to keep wary eye on that bone orchard. Press.
How exactly do you keep an eye on the evidence?
I just made sure nothing moved in the security camera monitor. That room's so still. Every time, even time dies in there. I was just a caretaker who interred the recordings.
You interred them?
Videos of nothing aren't that useful. When the time would come, I'd erase the tape. If nothing unusual is recorded, tapes have to be erased every 6 hours. Each time I'd erase a tape, it felt like I was erasing a part of my life.
Okay, as a player from dramatic, isn't going to do him good. So, in actuality, you don't physically enter the evidence room?
Said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style.
Dina heard something of interest.
Oh yeah? She perk up?
Yeah. Yeah, she just ran off. But you made your rounds on the day of the crime, right?
Ain't you heard a word I said, partner? I told you that ain't my style.
Phoenix. I'm afraid I understand.
No desperado I know lets rules get in his way.
No desperados I know join the police force.
So, Officer Marshall, on the day of the crime, just between you and me, I didn't set foot in the evidence room that day. Just between you and me and all the court.
The entire jury, that's, well, they're not really a jury, because I'm beginning to think a jury doesn't exist, or Phoenix, right? So, the peanut gallery.
Yeah.
Which is undoubtedly packed for this one.
Yeah. Hold up, let me... Now that your mic has been moved, I am lowering your volume slightly.
Gotcha.
You're peeking out on the mixer a little bit more now. And now that we're getting higher energy as well. Oh, wait. Discord, work with me. Move! There we go. Okay, we're good. There was rubber gloves stuck in the victim's locker. Do you know anything about that? Sorry, partner. Can't say I do. I've been in that crypt in weeks.
How does this guy avoid being fired? By the way, just to let you know, I am probably gonna call it early because I have an early flight I need to catch tomorrow.
Yeah, because you're going to a concert, right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Sounds good. Yeah, just let me know. Alright. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway.
You used to be a detective, so you've used the evidence room in the past, right?
Of course. Back in the day, my locker was a gold mine of evidence.
And yet, you didn't know about the fingerprint locking mechanism?
Sorry, partner. I ain't good with machines. I couldn't even tell you how a bike works.
That's quite
The sensors on the locker handles cannot be seen. It's well known that some detectives are unaware of their presence.
Detective Gumshoe said that too.
But at any rate, it doesn't seem that this is relevant to the crime. Can you tell us what you were doing when the crime took place? If I remember right, I was at a street-side saloon at the time it went down.
What were you doing in a place like that?
I was eating spaghetti. Not even Angel's steak lunches can beat that Parlo's Vongole sepia pasta. Do you mean to tell us you abandoned your police duties to eat some noodles? Not all desperados eat tacos, partner. That's not what I meant. I hope this has at least taught you a lesson.
That's strange. This is usually where Edgeworth said, "Do you not want a raise this year?"
You might not have the power to threaten that right now.
Yeah, he's kind of on the ropes with the police force right now.
Yeah. Just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time to hit the trail.
Out of ammo, Officer Marshall?
That's right, partner. Or as you call it, evidence. If you plan to pin me to this crime, then you better draw. Otherwise, you're just wasting my time. My steel horse is waiting to carry me back west into the sunset. One thing seems clear. Despite being responsible for guarding the evidence room, the witness doesn't appear to have seen anything. Texans don't take orders from anyone. Everyone knows that.
Apparently your superiors don't. Okay. I have a trump card up my sleeve, so I'd best keep it cool. Before I use it, though, I'd better up the ante.
Hey, Phoenix, what trump card? It's been a minute.
The bloodstain.
Right. Oh, also we have the Joe Dart killings. Yeah, found on a bloody handprint left in the evidence from the print had been wiped.
Yes, that's the trump card that shows that yes, you were in there.
Yeah. Just in the evidence room. Okay.
So what other stuff do we got?
Oh, so Goodman's ID, prosecutor's trophy, Edgeworth's knife, parking stub, blue badger panel, Goodman's autopsy report, Goodman's note, Lana's cell phone, parking lot floor plans, crime photo, victim's shoe, switchblade knife, luminal testing fluid, ID card record, check. Right, because he probably used Goodman's ID. Fingerprinting set, screwdriver. Evidence from a past case of Edge was brought back to his office by Gantz's request. Gibbons lost item report, evidence from floor plans. Tagged evidence in the SL9 incident, extremely thin rubber glove. Evidence locker, only the assigned detective's prints can unlock it, indicator lamp lights up when it's open. Unstable jar. Fingerprints, security video, SL9 incident files.
What's in there?
Check. It includes perpetrator Joe Dark, the crime of serial murder, and the sentencing of death. The victim list, Edward Neil Marshall, hello. And then trial data, head prosecutor was Miles Edgeworth, and the witness was Lana and Emma Sky. No, and the investigation task force. So it's just the names of everyone involved, I guess. Yeah. It's probably gonna end up being either the fingerprints or the evidence locker, I think. I'm gonna see what happens if I present the security system here. Just because, hey, could you at least update now that you know that this is a thing? Oh, cool. Thank you for letting me check that. Present. Nope, no music cut. Okay. Okay. Shot in the dark. Maybe the fingerprints?
No, because if the fingerprints is the trump card, and it wants to up the ante.
Up the ante,
first,
yeah.
I think it would want to be something else.
Yeah.
There is the screwdriver that Edward was sent to retrieve, which means Marshall should have, in theory, seen that.
Check. Just a screwdriver. Nothing special about it.
Yeah, no, the screwdriver itself isn't important. It's the fact that Edgeworth was asked to go get it.
Yeah.
That's the important part.
Evidence from a past case of Edgeworth's brought back to his office by God's request. Yeah, okay. Right, Edgeworth himself was asked to go get it. You're right, you're right. Yeah, 10 minutes before. Oh no, that would have been. That's 30 minutes before it all went down.
It might also be the video? Video on the last one, or this one?
Oh, yes! Yeah, hold on. Yeah, because, hey, your locker was open when this went down. How did that happen? That's why we brought him in here, right? Present. Nope. Okay, cool. Alright, I'm bleeding out. I'm just gonna go through them. Eating spaghetti. Banjo post. Better up the ante. How? Gold mine of evidence. Didn't know about the lock mechanism and good machines. Can tell you how a bike works. It's well known some detectives are unaware of their presence. I hear you doing something. What are you doing?
Looking stuff up because
yeah.
So.
Yeah.
No! Alright, it is Marshall's fingerprints.
Here?
Fourth statement.
Fourth statement. Hold on. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Didn't I do that?
No, we didn't try the bloodstained fingerprints because
right, I tried the evidence
wanted to
locker.
up
Yeah, up the ante. Yeah. What an awful...
Fucking hell, Phoenix.
What an awful tagline to throw at the end of a tip. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, present. I have a cookie.
Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd? That is, you being called in to testify like this? After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime.
And yet you drag me down here. Explain yourself, partner.
It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind at the scene. Or, to be exact, a handprint.
Listen real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. I pay my respects, that is, make my rounds, about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints would be in there.
I only wish it were, officer. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood.
Okay, putting cookie down. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Your bloodstained fingerprints were at the crime scene?
The blood was wiped away. However, the luminal test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall?
It seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders. I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall? About the blood-stained fingerprints? Very well, you may begin your testimony about your fingerprints. Found at the scene of the crime.
Alright. BRB, hold on.
Yee.
Keep going.
Yep. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the bloodstained handprint. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. The bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Oh, didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? See? I had nothing to do with it. Welcome back. His argument is basically saying it was just pure happenstance that the bloodstain and his handprint were at the same place.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and that if you don't remember, and that in case you forgot, the murderer was wearing gloves. So clearly he has nothing to do with it. The witness's explanation appears valid. Although there's room for doubt. Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner. The defense may now cross-examine the witness.
This guy's hiding something. Now's my chance to prove it.
Yee. So I natural my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. Press.
That's because you... How did you... pay your respects once a month?
Yeah, that's right. That and one more thing. That locker happens to be mine. What? What do you mean? I mean what I said. That's the locker I used when I was a detective. The locker I still use. All that's in there now, though, is a heap of broken dreams.
I see.
It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker.
You must have been in that locker all the time without ever knowing.
Found on bloody handprint on Marshall's own locker. The print had been wiped. One of them just happens to be at the same place as the bloodstained handprint.
So then, what about the bloody handprint?
Wasn't mine. It's no mystery. Please explain. My locker is covered with my fingerprints. It just so happened. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance.
The chances of that happening were 1,000,000 to 1!
On the contrary, one could argue just the opposite. The chances of that not happening are 1,000,000 to 1. Get one thing straight, partner. You ain't gonna get no reward from me with a mere fingerprint. You won't know why. The bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated.
Unrelated?
They're as different as night and day. Kinda like cereal and cereal. One's got to do with breakfast, while the other's a type of murder. He's right. Although seemingly alike, they're totally different.
I don't see what hominids have to do with this.
Thank you, Judge, for encouraging his behavior. But didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves?
How do you know that?
I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up on the reports. There was a bloodstain at the scene, though thought to be left by the murderer.
That's right. It was found on the junction.
However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint.
Yeah. I think we tried that, too.
So that would mean the murderer, wearing gloves, happened to place their hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprint. That's the only logical conclusion. Are you starting to get the picture, partner?
Sure.
This seal of blood in the desert, it's just food for the buzzards. There's only one reality, and that's this. So long as my trail isn't in there, you can't say otherwise. This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully where you're going with this cross-examination.
Video locker.
Yep, yeah, now it's gonna be the video locker, yeah. Now then, continue your testimony, Officer Marshall. Too bad it wasn't me in that video, right, partner? Press.
What do you mean by that?
You want to tie me to this crime, isn't that right, partner? If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have.
But that video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots.
Blind spots?
Places you can't see. The camera's panning back and forth. The floor isn't showing.
Hey, you could also just totally duck under it, yeah.
If someone was familiar with the camera's position, they could leave the room without being caught on
We don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright. Well, Mr. Wright, if you could show us evidence in this video that indicates Officer Marshall was present, please do so now. Okay.
Very well. Allow me to point out your mistake.
Tread carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might wind up being the one making the mistake. Now then, let's have another look at the video. Show us this incriminating evidence of the witness, Officer Jake Marshall. Cookie.
I would go to when it shows up.
Oh. Yeah, hit rewind instead of fast forward. Alright. And... hello!
Boop, 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 boop. Take that! Bringing our attention back to the security camera. Is a mistake I'm afraid you'll soon not forget, officer.
The days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers.
Fuck you mean they're short in Texas?
Yeah, no, they're actually probably one of the longer days. Could you sum up what you have to
Also,
say?
you're out of order.
Yeah. Could you sum up what you have to say in 8 words or less?
Very well. You can clearly be seen in this video.
Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner.
The key lies in a certain locker shown in this video.
That locker with the white
That
cloth
locker?
sticking out. That was the witnesses, I believe.
Now then, let's rewind the video a bit.
Can you rewind any slower?
Oh, yeah. This is,
Slow down, you're giving me whiplash. Oh, the white cloth! It's gone! What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall?
when the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then, it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away.
Order! Order! You assume that only hold your horses. Sorry, partner, but you got the wrong man. So what if my locker was open? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it. The murderer needed to hide something, so he opened the locker and stuck it in. It's not my fault he happened to choose mine. Hold on, I gotta ban a bot. While we sit in this awkward silence. Bah. Cool.
As Jake fails to realize his mistake.
Yeah. Looking all smug. Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man?
That isn't just playing dumb.
No, he said it multiple times. He can't tell us how a bike works. You think he knows what a fingerprint scanner does?
Really doesn't know. I hate to rain on your parade, but you're the only person who can open that particular locker.
Oh yeah? I call your bluff. You say I opened that locker. Now prove it. This thing. This thing that we told you about 5 times already.
Yeah.
This one. Fingerprint sensor?
We talked about this earlier today.
Yeah.
The lockers can only be opened by the detectives they belong to.
I love that this went from a, like, back and forth to an, ooh, buddy, listen.
Really did.
Yeah. What kind of crazy talk is this? I call witchcraft.
Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this.
In any case, locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people in the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks.
So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less?
I only got one word for you, partner. No!
Nah.
Order! 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 Witness, explain yourself! This is a joke. It's the worst I've ever heard.
I assure you, this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime.
Ole, please answer the question.
What is he now, a bullfighter? That's alright, Officer Marshall.
What a weird throwaway joke. What a fucking... Okay.
Yeah, like, he's not even using a red cape or anything of that nature.
No,
I don't
at all.
understand.
It's so out of nowhere. Oh, God.
I believe we can figure out the rest from here.
We can?
Have a look at these floor plans. There is no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall.
If that's so, then where was the witness? It seems Mr. Wright has an answer.
That's right. The only possible conclusion.
Well then, let's hear it. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime?
Victim. Oh,
Killer, right?
no, victim. Bruce. He was in front of the lockers. Then Meekins.
Oh, yes, right. Meekins is the killer. Right, okay. I got mixed up. You're right, yeah.
Officer Marshall was standing right here.
There? But that's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was.
Correct. Unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in the video is Officer Marshall. It was you, dressed up like Detective Goodman.
But that's preposterous. Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime scene. Once he saw... Yeah. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure.
May I point out, though, that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted. Fuck, okay, hold on. When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his card, sir! Yes, and how did Detective Goodman respond? He suddenly pulled a knife on me! Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it?
Yes, he would have needed to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it.
The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card.
Oh, I get it.
If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall?
You got quite an imagination, partner. We got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence.
Circumstantial evidence? He's still denying it.
You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective. Unless you've heard evidence proving I dressed up as the victim. I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim?
Well, I don't have anything like that.
I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat.
Can't be happening. It's so obvious he's the one. What can I do?
It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you've run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics.
The basics. Me? What Maya used. Phoenix, try thinking outside of the box. I should prove that Officer Marshall is God. Rather, I should look for evidence that came up because this.
Why do you think this locker was opened in the first place?
What do you mean?
There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance it might be discovered later, as it has been.
Which means he didn't originally.
According to the defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then, after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason.
The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that. He opened it in order to put the cloth inside.
So, just what exactly is this piece of cloth?
Perhaps the video to all of our unanswered questions. Don't have any evidence, so this video's my only shot.
Very well. Let's take yet another look at the security tape. After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker to put away the white cloth. Please show us why the witness had to open his locker. The team worked very hard on this video, so we're making you watch it 10 times over.
It's because he got stabbed, right?
Yeah, I'm sure that's what it is. Fast forward. Because it got blood on it. Can't be walking out with blood. Wait to see the blood. Oh, that's it. Nope. Ah! Rewind. Pause. Hello. Present. Yay.
For some reason, you disguised yourself as Detective Goodman and entered the evidence room. Now I don't know to what end yet.
Yeah.
However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife. However, Officer Meekins panicked. The white coat you were wearing was soiled.
A bloody white coat.
You couldn't just walk out like that. So you hid the coat in your locker.
Not bad, partner.
Now then, Officer Marshall, are you ready to tell us the truth?
Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago. If you were only half as persistent then as you are today, we all wouldn't have to be here now would we?
Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did. All of it.
Alright. It seems the time has come. I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I was expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out. He managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15.
So the supposed victim was really you.
But there's one thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be? Officer Meek has managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor.
It's way too much blood for such a small donation.
Nope, we're pressing everything again.
When you say it, you mean...
Do you even have to ask, partner?
something.
2 years have passed since that case was closed. It was going to completely end when the transferal that day. Not if I have anything to do with it. That incident's not over.
But what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence?
When a case is closed, only that case's lead detective can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time. No matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine.
Officer Marshall in charge of that investigation. Why did he care so much about it?
That day was my last chance. That's why I stole the detective's ID, and just like him, I plan to take out the evidence. Press.
Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman?
If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transferal, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere. So you did it to fool the security camera.
And the detective's ID card?
I stole that the morning of the incident.
So that really was why Goodman started filling out that lost item report.
I returned his ID card. I left it on the floor of the prosecutor's office parking lot.
The ID card I found was left there by Officer B. He just said that.
Yeah. So, essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight. What do you mean, partner? I mean the fingerprint-activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker yourself.
But he could. The rubber glove just happened to get stuck. That means Goodman opened the locker for Officer Marshall.
I was expecting Officer Meekins, I knocked him out.
You pulled a knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off?
Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time.
Officer Meekins certainly is a one-in-a-million type of person. Mistaking a detective for an intruder and demanding to be shown his ID.
I'll have to think a little more about his raise this year.
Why did Edgeworth get so much influence?
Anyway, he threw himself at me and I ended up cutting him slightly. I'm sorry it had to turn out that way. With me knocking him out and everything.
By the way, what happened to your knife?
No, you mean this one?
I say,
So you knocked Officer Meekins out and...
Made you escape, I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. Press.
they would not let him in with that. Oh, okay, I guess he is an officer.
Yeah. He's allowed to carry. Yeah.
So you did your research beforehand.
Those who go into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I didn't think it would make a difference, though. The security tape is erased every 6 hours. If all had gone as planned, no footage would have been left. However, you bloodied your coat in your struggle with Officer Meekins. someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. I opened my locker and stashed it in there.
What was Officer Meekin doing at that time?
What else? He was sleeping like a baby.
So what you're saying is, on that day,
There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. Press.
But the blood found at the scene certainly indicates a crime took place.
What are you, blind? The victim shown on that tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner. So you stole the evidence from the locker? Actually, no I didn't. Why not? When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone.
what? Mr. Edgeworth, where is that evidence?
It's still missing, Your Honor.
This lock already. Someone else stole the evidence. Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing?
Fire away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer.
Why? Stealing a in This is no small offense.
Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. It can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary.
Not that cuts are ever a valid solution.
Like I said, this isn't your case. This one is mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with.
The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more.
Judge, I like your style.
Yeah. I like your funny words, Magic Man. I just can't forget the SL9 incident. You know why?
But that case was all 2 years ago, wasn't it?
That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room.
Joe Dark was convicted for his crimes. One thing I can say for sure is he deserved his sentence.
I remember the Joe Dark case. It involved serial murders, did it not?
I don't intend to complain about how it turned out, but it's something that still bothers me. Someone went down at that trial. Something no one will talk about.
What happened? Judge, wait, I was there. Wait a minute, what do you want about?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out.
Is he concerned that maybe I should I had a feeling we'd wind up here sooner. Everyone involved here is related in some way to that case. Better take another look at
Yep.
his brother! His
Yep.
brother!
Okay. Present. Let me read through it first. He's gonna ask me what page it's on. Victims, Neil Marshall. Cool. Page 2 and 4. And then in case they're like, was he involved? Page 4.
Even numbers.
Yep. Cool. Present.
Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9.
Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner. It's the quenchiest.
I have the SL9 incident file here. The name Marshall here. In a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall. Are you related to this man?
Neil Marshall. Yeah, I'm sure you've heard the name. 2 years ago, he received the same lousy prosecutor award you got.
What? A prosecutor?
Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did. That's right. He was killed. And the case fell into your hands.
But what's his relation to you?
He was my brother. He was investigating the murders with Damon Gant, the then Deputy Chief of Police. The group of detectives I was part of worked under them. We were desperate to prosecute the killer. Joe Dock. My brother fought Dock and was killed. It was the first time Dock left behind any evidence. That was all we needed. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed. At least, according to public records.
What do you mean?
My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dock. And I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight. And that's it. That's your reason for your insane actions. There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me.
Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened at the police department on the day of the crime.
That was the last day the SL9 case could be reopened. Not satisfied with its resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence.
Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Sir Meekin confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled.
Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day.
At that time! Not that day! Just at that time, Edgy.
The things that happen by chance never cease to amaze. At exactly the same time as the murder at the prosecutor's office, this fake murder was going on at the police department.
So if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's office parking lot was the real one.
Which, in turn, means only one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye.
Well, wait! A verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial.
Which is why we examine the incident at the police department today.
But
There's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department. It seems to me this boy's got the draw on you, partner. All of the mysteries at the police department have been resolved, no doubt about it. Our sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Skye, and the testimony of one Miss Angel Starr is completely incontestable. If you have a response, make it a single word or less. Nice. Nice cherry on top. It doesn't get to happen too often, because usually it's Phoenix running away with it. I like when Edgeworth runs away with it. I rest my case.
It seems the trial has reached its conclusion. There is no room for doubt.
Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time disproving the alleged murder at the police department.
doubt what I proved today is true. The murder on the security really was fake.
Now then, the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant...
Because it ain't a Phoenix Wright case unless you have 1,000 twists and turns.
Uh-huh. Your Honor, wait!
Emma!
The defense has an objection! A scientific objection! Right?
What do you mean, Wright?
Mr. Wright? Are this girl's guardian?
Your Honor? Oh, in a sense.
Please, Your Honor, all I'm asking is for a minute of your time. Please hear me out. Mr. Edgeworth, please. I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute? I'll give you 3. I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out the SO Mine incident referred to the Joe Dart killings?
The names of both Sky Sisters were in that file.
But that's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So, I knew his fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. That left only one thing. The other handprint. You mean the traces of blood found on Detective Gumshoe's locker?
But no fingerprints were found on it, right?
No, but I figured if I examined it scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue. So, I ran over there and looked at it again.
So, did you find something?
No.
Huh?
Sorry, I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all.
Is that all?
Please don't be mad. I'm just a high school student.
Just
Yeah. But, Mr. Wright, those traces of blood are the only clue we have. If we can't find something wrong with them... Please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone can save Lana, it's you.
It means that there was a third person in there that day because Jake had to take off his gloves in order to put away the coat. And he took the time to wipe away the handprint. So why wouldn't he take the time to wipe away that handprint too?
Yeah.
Time's up.
No, there's your stretch, I guess.
Yeah.
Now then, Mr. Wright. With regard to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain?
It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. Looking at the floor plans, a handprint was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this? Mr. Wright, I'm sorry I can't be of more use. But still, if you can't find anything wrong with that blood mark, Lana will be...
Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day.
Yes, Your Honor. Concentrate, it's now. What could be wrong with that handprint in Detective Gumshoe's locker? Could there be something I'm missing?
I mean, I have to object, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, you have to object.
Yeah, I have to
otherwise the game
object.
ends.
Yeah. Yeah.
The handprint, this handprint left at the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction.
The only thing that seems clear is your grasping, Mr. Wright.
You've been staring pretty intensely at the floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them?
Yes, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans. Something is missing.
Missing? You mean
Is this
something...
how we prove the Blue Badger is important, actually?
I would love that. Missing.
I forget how, but we do tie in the Blue Badger
We do. You mean something hasn't been drawn on there?
Yes, something that, when drawn, will completely change the meaning of the blood mark.
Let us pray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time. Very well, Mr. Wright.
With all this evidence here,
The question is, which item can prove something is missing from the floor plans?
The video. The video can prove that something is missing.
Sure.
Right? As they say back west, even a blind man can hit with buckshot. That is, so long as he's facing the general direction. It seems Mr. Wright's not sure
Okay.
which direction to face.
Blue Badger, I guess. It's no use. The more evidence there is, the greater the chance of me being wrong!
Just calm down, Mr. Wright. Try and remember what the evidence room was like on the day of the crime.
Yeah, Blue Badger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep going.
Yeah,
keep going.
yep. Okay. Oh. What about that piece of plywood?
Blue Badger, mascot of the police force. Defender of truth, guardian of proof.
Explain yourself, Mr. Wright.
Please look at the floor plans of the evidence of the crime scene. The Blue Badger is not here.
So?
So watch what happens when we put him in. This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime. Well?
Well, what?
That's right. So long as the Blue Badger is dancing here, it would be impossible to place a handprint at this spot on the locker.
Where's the camera at then? Because the Blue Badger's like right in front of the camera.
Yep.
That's insane.
Real fucking close. And I thought I could have sworn they walk behind the Blue Badger too.
I thought they did too. I want to watch that video back. Wait a goddamn minute.
Yeah, pull up the video.
I can't
'cause
right
I'm
now.
pretty
The
sure
controls
this
are
is
blocked.
a game call. Yeah. No. When it comes
When
up.
it comes up. Yeah. This is the game bullshitting itself. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a contradiction in a contradiction.
Yeah, but we're running with it.
Uh-huh.
Oh god.
What?
Okay.
Alright,
So that means,
do it now.
just exactly what does that mean?
Yeah, wait a goddamn minute here. I can't fast forward, so here we are.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that does look to be where it's at. Okay, so the camera is in front of Gumshoe's locker on the wall. Do they walk behind or in front?
Okay.
Oh, they do walk in
That's
front of
in
the Blue
front!
Badger.
That is in front!
Okay.
You know what? I
Well
stand
done.
corrected.
Well
I
done.
am misremembering.
But like, the camera is like fucking 3 feet away from the Blue Badger.
Really is.
If that.
That is. That or the Blue Badger is a lot bigger than we thought he was.
Yeah. I mean, the Blue Badger looks to
Alright.
me about like, probably about 6 foot. Because like, it's as tall as these two, if not taller.
Okay, you know what? Maybe, okay. No, maybe the camera is further away then, and it's just the Blue Badger is so fucking massive.
Maybe, yeah, messing with our sense of scale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It means it can't be done.
What are you saying? Blood traces were undeniably found on that locker.
Don't look at me. I didn't put it there.
Mr. Wright, think it through scientifically.
Come on.
On that afternoon, Officer Meekins was the one who brought the Blue Badger to the evidence room, right? After he put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on the locker.
That must mean the blood mark.
It was from before that crime.
Yep. Which narrows down your suspect list significantly. So who's on that
Incredibly.
suspect list?
Yep.
Pull up the list.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's he who shall not be named Snucker and Lumber on there. And Miles Edgeworth. Yep, so now suddenly our suspects are a different prosecutor and the mystery number. We all know whose mystery it belonged too.
You read this one? Okay.
Bodger was brought in.
Bodger?
Eh.
Close enough.
Just one moment. I will not allow such far-fetched balderdash in my courtroom.
I almost said in my classroom.
This is where you draw the line?
Yeah. Sir, we interrogated a parrot not 3 months ago. What?
May sound far-fetched, Your Honor. But it's the only possible explanation. On February 21st, in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once, but twice.
But how?
One time was captured on this tape, taken by the security camera. Officer Meekins cut his hand, from which a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is, the other time. Someone bled prior to the struggle shown on this tape. It had to have been... Detective Goodman, when he was really murdered.
That's ridiculous. I refuse to accept your absurd claim.
The murder betrayed... Sorry, I'm starting to laugh because I just got reminded of that one comic where Phoenix is in bed, right? And he shoots up and he's like, I figured out the case. And then Edgeworth, who's also in the same bed, sits up, sighs, turns on the lamp, and whips out the case papers in his glasses like, alright, let's go over it. I just got reminded of that. Just a little tobacco.
I love that.
That feels like this moment. That feels like what happened.
That is their relationship, yes.
The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be a fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found on the locker.
So then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence that proves when it occurred.
When did the first incident occur?
To summarize, the defense claims that prior to Officer Meekins being cut by Jake Marshall, who was posing as Detective Goodman, another incident took place in that evidence room.
That's right. The blood mark on the locker proves this.
Very well, then tell us. When did this first incident occur? As was said, proof must be presented.
Proof that shows when the murder took place. There is only one piece of evidence that can show that.
Now then, will the defense please present its evidence? What shows when the first crime took place?
No.
The ID. The ID.
Yeah.
list.
Present.
If the crime took place inside the evidence room, then the killer would have had to enter it. And in order to do so, an ID card would have been required.
An ID card? Oh, the ID card record!
Officer Meekins brought the Blue Badger panel into the evidence room at...
Let's see here. 4:50 p.m.
Also, question. For both Meekins, but also Edgeworth. Both of you had the opportunity to see the bloody handprint there. And just
Yeah,
ignored it.
it's... I think Meekins, given how Meekins' demeanor is, he probably, like, just legit totally missed it. I could see
Possible.
that he placed down, his view is covered by the Blue Badger.
Yeah,
So
he probably just set it there in front of
down
Gumshoe's
and
locker
just-
saying, this is his.
Yeah.
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 I can see that.
completely
I can
ignored
see
it by
that.
chance.
Yeah.
Edgeworth?
Edgeworth's just concerning
know.
a little bit.
It depends on where Edgeworth's locker is. Because,
Or-
first
yeah.
of all, it's weird that Edgeworth even has a locker. If there's
Yes.
supposed to be detectives in here,
Yeah.
like, why do you even have lockers, sir? This is for
Yeah.
detectives.
Yeah.
And secondly, it kind of depends on where it is, because if his locker is closer to the entrance, he probably didn't have to walk past
probably just didn't
so
even
he
think
never
about it. Yeah.
Yeah, so he might not have seen it at all.
Yeah, true. Okay.
If the crime took place before that time, then it would be 4:40 p.m. Ah! Ah! Miles Edgeworth? Just what have you done?
I never would have figured you had the nerve, boy.
Go one more forward, guys! That's the wrong number!
Yep. Drop the act, witness. Doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out it couldn't have been me. Nope. I ain't getting it.
I'm afraid I don't understand either.
It's clear from the luminal test that blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood.
That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer. I like how Phoenix just implicitly trusts. Nah, it's not Edgeworth.
Yeah. I would have had just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible.
That would mean the crime must have taken place before Mr. Edgeworth entered the evidence room.
Let's look at the chart again. There's only one other card number remaining. 777777.
Talk about a lucky number.
But wait, that doesn't make sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room?
Since there's no record of his card beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with 7777777.
Mr. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number is 7777777. 7.
That's 1 7 too many, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID card. At least, at present.
What?
Explain yourself, son. The ID number 7777777 belongs to someone with a rank of captain or higher. Someone who is a so-called executive officer. We don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity.
That's ridiculous! Just how...
I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. There is one situation in which we can be granted such authority.
If an official charge filed against an executive is accepted.
An official charge?
You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor's office operates. I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate if you would keep your slander to yourself. Slander, is it? Okay. Let me ask a question. Yes? No, not to you, to her. The defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive. Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course we've looked up her ID number. And it's not 7777777. Don't play me for a fool, partner. That's not what I want to ask. All I want to know is one thing about that incident.
The SL9 incident?
Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence? Do you need the witness to repeat his question, Chief Prosecutor? I think you were Lana, right?
Yeah, did that not pick up?
Not at all.
Heard his fine.
Okay. 2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution of for that trial. At the time, we...
Power. Evidence.
Lana!
I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime. Before I realized it,
Defendant, just what are you saying?
I'll ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During that trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in court? Can you look me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye, and say that you did?
Chief Prosecutor, you didn't!
Why won't you... That's the judge. Why won't you answer him?
drastic crimes require drastic crimes. It's just... we...
But, Lana!
even evidence.
Well, shit. That's a problem.
You are lucky you got the right guy on that one.
Yep. See? That's what I'm talking about. No. No! Order! 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 None of that got picked up either if you were reading it.
I wasn't reading that one.
Oh, okay. That's fair. Save progress. Alright.
Yeah,
this
call
one.
it there.
No, that's a good stopping point. Especially since you gotta catch a flight.
Yep.
Alright. We're gonna go ahead and call it there then. I just knocked my 2 microphones together. That was fun.
Yay.
Alright, gonna go ahead and call it there, and yeah, we'll see you all on the next one. Bye-bye!
Bye-bye!
Yeah, bye.